then please stand by until, let's say, 40-50 minutes ahead. So then we will hold the panel session afterwards, okay? The question and answer will be given to the participant, to all of the participants, by raise hand. Yeah, so then we will have, we are going to give you a chance to deliver your questions by your own word. Okay, please feel free to deliver it. Okay, that's the first way. And the second way, if you are willing to deliver and convey your message and questions by writing, please do as well, no problem. We are giving you a chat session, so then you can write down your questions on the chat, and I will read it for the reader. And please also mention to whom the question is addressed to Pak Milson or to Pak Rizal, because we will have two keynote speakers on today. Okay, then that would be my remarks to Pak Milson's presentations and also to all of the participants for today's seminars. Okay, thank you very much again, Pak Milson. We are now moving forward to just hold on a second, to the second speaker, second keynote speaker. So, good morning, Professor Dr. Muhammad Rizal bin Palil.
Good morning, Dr. Otto. How are you?
Fine, fine. Thank you, thank you. May I call you just Pak Professor or something like that?
You can just call me Pak Rizal.
Pak Rizal. Ah, okay, okay, okay. So, to be closer, one step ahead, okay?
Yes.
Okay, Pak, thank you very much for your attending. And then it's our honor to have you. And let me introduce you to all of the attendants, to all of the participants of this seminar by presenting you the information of your curriculum vitae. To the committee, please display the curriculum vitae of Pak Rizal. Would you please? Okay, so Professor Dr. Muhammad Rizal bin Palil, or you can call him Pak Rizal for short, and also for getting closer, I would say. Okay, he has a Bachelor of Accounting from UKM, University of Kebangsaan Malaysia, Magister of Accounting, and PhD International Taxations in Birmingham, United Kingdom. Okay, he's also the holder of Chartered Tax Institute of Malaysia, CTIM. It's very, very good. But I think we have the same profession then as a chartered tax, let's say consultant, something like that. Are you also consultant, Pak Rizal?
At the moment, I'm only focusing on academics works.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So no client,
No.
your students, right?
Yes, my client is primarily from our student, especially my PhD and master student.
Yes, yes, I saw a long list of your students on that field, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay, thank you, Pak. Carry on, please, to the next slide, or to the next page. Committee, please. Okay. Pak Rizal has 4 children. Mabruk, Pak. Mubarak, Pak.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Okay. He's a professor in taxation. Okay. Center for Government Resilience and Accountability Studies. Okay. Faculty of Economic and Management, UKM. Okay. Academic qualifications, 2010 PhD. So it's been, I think, around 14 years ago. 2001, he hold Master of Accounting, and 1998, Bachelor of Accounting. Okay, please carry on. But I think I would not read all of the pages, because I think 52 pages, that's too long for me to read.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's all in the moment. So we know already that you have your professional background, especially in academic and in accounting major. Well, firstly, welcome Pak Rizal, and that's going to be my introduction to all of the attendants, yeah, on your background.
Yes.
And not so much ado, I think we are going to give you and the opportunity of your session, right, to deliver your message, to deliver your PowerPoint and everything that need for us to understand. Especially, I think I saw a little bit of your presentations regarding the Malaysian side, Pak. Okay,
Yes.
I think it's very interesting. So then we will compare Indonesia and Malaysia a little bit, yeah. So then we can understand to know better each other. Okay, I would say that's going to be in that way. Well, Pak Rizal, now, oh, sorry again. I think I have to recall the time session.
Yes.
Pak Rizal is going to present in the 40 minutes, so 9:45, now 9:35, it's okay, until 10:20. It would be your time, Pak Rizal.
Yes.
Okay, Pak Rizal, time and link is yours, Pak.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh, and
Wow.
very good morning to all floor members. I would like to say thank you very much to the organizer of this Taxcompar 2024 for inviting me to allow me to share my a little bit knowledge, yeah, about Malaysian tax system in particular. And of course, thank you very much, Dr. Otto Budiharjo, as a moderator of our session today, and our colleague as a keynote speaker, Pak Wilson also. Thank you very much again for all floor members, and thank you very much again to all the participants of this conference. Yeah. All right, I would like to share my presentation today entitled Dual Accomplishment, Increasing Revenue and Sustaining Environment Through Environment Tax Implementations. Yeah, so looking at this, what we call topic, can the committee share the slide? But, yes. All right, okay. So So my name is Muhammad Rizal bin Palil. I'm the lecturer in University Kebangsaan Malaysia. And for your informations, I've been teaching as a lecturer since 2021. So I have almost 43 years, yeah. Sorry, 23 years in academic side, right? So let's have a look on our discussion today, in which in general, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to share with you how the new tax system, especially in environmental tax in Malaysia, if it will be implemented soon, can accomplish dual objective. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to discuss in this short presentation is the meaning or the concept of environment tax. And then we are also looking at why do we need the tax, yeah? And for your informations, many people, not only in Malaysia, I believe in Indonesia, they are also not very happy if there is a new tax implemented, okay? So even though our nations are not very happy with new tax system, however, we believe that the new tax system will benefit more or will benefit most in our nation, not only in Malaysia, but also perhaps in Indonesia, right? And we're also looking at how the basic model in environment tax, yeah? So we are going to discuss about a simple model in the beginning, the environment tax, which is called as Pigovian theory. Also, we are looking at the Adam Smith canon of taxations, in which how this canon of taxation introduced by Adam Smith can uphold our new environmental tax. So we are also looking at other countries' experience in their implementation of tax, especially in European countries. And of course, I will share with you our Malaysian situations, sustainable environment, energy saver versus environment tax. And of course, in the last but not least part, we are going to discuss about the conclusions of my presentations. Yeah. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, what is the meaning of environmental tax? Okay, so by definitions, it is actually began in 1990s, in which uh, a very simple definitions, yeah, we can say that tax imposed to any activities that impacts environment negatively, yeah. For example, effect on greenhouses, yeah, global warming, climate change, yeah, and of course there are a lot of negative impact on our environment, yeah. My focus today, we are looking at uh, a simple concept in which what we call as a carbon tax, or perhaps a petroleum tax, or perhaps fuel tax. Yeah. Okay. Next, please. All right. This is our new concept that we would like to introduce. Yeah. If we are having an ET, yeah. So what we are going to have in this case is the first and foremost objective of having any taxes, yeah, in any countries in the world, is to uplift our national revenue. Yeah. In the current situations, we have corporate tax. Yeah. We have individual tax. Okay. And also we have value added tax. Yeah. And of course, we have many taxes implemented in other countries, depending on countries that we are focusing in. Yeah. But then when we are looking at the yellow box, okay, we have environment tax. It is a tax that can increase our national revenue, and at the same time, we can preserve our environment. Yeah. So by having our ET, or environment tax, we believe that we are not only increasing our revenue, not only focusing in protecting our environment, but we are also able to use our additional revenue in developing the country, in developing the nations, and of course, in increasing our value of life in our country. Okay, next. As I said earlier, why environment tax is very important, okay, not only in Malaysia, but also in other countries. The first and foremost, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to protect our environment, okay. Having said that, yeah, even though we are not saying that other taxes implemented in our countries are not directly protecting our environment. Yeah, we are not saying so. Okay. But then when we have a name called as environment tax, okay, the message that we can convey to our nation is, you make damage to environment, and yet you have to pay the cost. So that is the concept in, if, for example, yeah, in Malaysia, we have some allocations, okay, from our total tax collections, specifically to preserve our environment, then people are not aware significantly that this fund, okay, coming from any taxes in the world, okay, would be particularly used to protect the environment. Okay, so they don't convey what we call a clearer message, okay, to protect the environment. But then when we have a specific tax, so-called as environment tax, and they have to pay that particular tax, and therefore our message will be delivered to our nation more clearer. Okay, in which every penny of tax that the company pay, for example, they will know that, oh, this tax paid to this government is purposely for protect our environment. Yeah, that's why even though we are now perhaps having an allocation to protect our environment, but the main source of income are not coming from environment tax, the effects to the nations, the awareness to the nations in protecting our environment is less. Yeah, compared to a specific tax, so-called as environment tax, paid by the taxpayer. Yeah. And second objective of having environment tax is to penalize environment destroyer. Yeah. As you can see, many construction companies, for example, yeah, they are having development of houses in many areas. Okay. And of course, before they are developing the houses, they have to clear up, okay, the land. They have to clear up the forests. Okay, they have to clear up the nature system in there, and therefore indirectly they have to do damage in our environment. So in return to their profit from that particular business, for example, a construction company, apart from paying the corporate tax rate, they also have to pay our environment tax. Okay. The third objective of having environment tax is as an extra tax revenue, okay, and also widening our tax base. Yeah. Philosophically, ladies and gentlemen, in order to increase our tax revenue, okay, no matter what type of tax would be implemented, the first and foremost, we must be able to widening our tax base. Yeah. I give you an example. If, for example, we don't have new taxes, we don't have environment tax, okay? So we have existing tax, okay? How do we do our activities to widen our tax base? Yeah? Okay, the simple concept of widening tax base is like this, yeah? I'll give you an example. For example, as for now, we have 5 million taxpayer, yeah? How to increase the number of taxpayer? Okay. For example, we are lowering our tax threshold so that from 5 million taxpayer, we can increase to 7 million taxpayer. Yeah. So we have an increment of 2 million taxpayer come into our tax system, newcomer of our taxpayer. And of course, if we have a newcomer in our taxpayer, of course, our tax revenue would be significantly increased. Yeah, there is one example in widening our tax base. First, by increasing our number of taxpayer. Okay. Second concept of widening tax base is by implementing new taxes. For example, implementing our environment tax. Okay. Instead of no tax implemented, okay, we implement a new tax system. And of course, the tax base will also widen in this tax. Okay. So I have discussed extensively why do we need our environment tax. Okay. Next, please. Okay, so this is the basic model in environment tax. So I propose what we call as model A. Okay, how do we have model A? So the model A is quite direct. Okay, for example, we have individual taxpayers and we have companies taxpayers. Tax collection in yellow box would become received by the government, managed by the government. Okay. The advantages of having model A is the government would receive taxpayer money quicker. Yeah. Compared to model B. Okay. So can we go to model B? Okay. In model B, okay, next slide, please. Okay. So for Model B, ladies and gentlemen, we are also collecting from individual and companies, but then we have what we call as intermediary, what we call as agencies. Yeah. So these agencies normally appointed by the government would collect environment tax from individual and companies, and then they will remit the tax collection to the government. Yeah. So Model B would produce what we call as delay into the government tax collections, because of course there are some period need to be held by the agencies before remitting to the government. And secondly, in Model B, of course, the agency will have some commissions, okay, on top of their tax collections, right? So looking at the Model A and Model B, we might be saying that Model A better than Model B because the government quicker having the refund, having the tax collections, and there is no cost in terms of tax collections. Okay. In contrast, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, even though Model B will provide delay to the government remittance, will provide extra costs in terms of what we call as tax collection commission to the agencies. However, we believe that in the initial stage of implementing environment tax, I might be proposing Model B, even though it incur any extra cost and delay in government receiving the money. But then in terms of governance, in terms of efficiency of the collection, will be 100% managed and governed by the agencies. Yeah, so the government can focus more or can focus extensively in their uh, non-collection tax matters. Yeah, so the agencies also try to increase their commissions by increasing their tax revenue. And therefore, the tax revenue, if we are using the Model B, will increase significantly compared to the Model B. Sorry, compared to Model A, right? Okay, next slide, please. So next, we are moving to the Pigouvian theory. Okay, don't be so worried much. It is a very simple theory introduced by Pigou. Yeah, it is a name of a person, Arthur Cecil Pigou. Okay, Pigou says that polluters make compensations to any damage on environment. Okay, and this Pigouvian theory has been recognized internationally. Okay, so far no other countries can explain this concept of tax on environment. So we are um, holding this Pigouvian theory introduced in 1920 as the underpinning theory in implementing our environment tax. Okay, as simple as this, ladies and gentlemen, you do damage in environment, you have to pay the cost to repair the damage. That's it. That is what we call as the Pigouvian theory. Okay, next. Apart from Pigouvian theory, okay, in order to implement our environment tax, we also have Adam Smith canon of taxations in his book, yeah, The Wealth of Nations, 1776. Okay. So the principle of taxation, equity and fairness, certainty, simplicity, efficiency are canon of taxation introduced by Adam Smith. Okay. What does it mean, ladies and gentlemen? Okay. It means that if we want to implement environment tax in Malaysia or in Indonesia, the tax system must have these 5 canon of taxations. Yeah. So what we call as equity and fairness, meaning that the tax system that will be introduced must equity. Okay. Must not bias to certain group of people. Okay. And we have certainty. For example, how many percent of tax? Okay. Who will be paid? Okay. When would be paid? Okay. If we are unable to pay on time, is there any penalty that will be imposed to us? So any other issues must be certain, okay, before the implementations. Okay. What are the tax, okay, implemented? Okay. For example, we are focusing on fuel tax. Okay. how much per liter that we have to pay tax. Okay, so all these things must be certain in principle. Okay. The third canon of taxation is simplicity. Okay, simple. Okay, the tax system, for example, the environment tax that soon will be implemented must be as simple as possible. Okay, for example, in calculating tax, we don't have to have what we call a complex mathematical formula. No, we don't have to do so. Okay, and then in order to pay, we have to be allowed to pay on using online payment, for example. Okay, and of course, if we have what we call as a delay, okay, in terms of our payment of environment tax, how much penalty that we have to pay, and we have to pay very easy. Okay, so all those things must be as easy as possible. Okay, the fourth canon of taxation say, if you wish to have new environment tax, the tax must be efficient, okay, in terms of administration, right? So what does efficient mean in canon of taxation? It means that how much you pay to collect $1 of tax. Yeah. For example, if you pay 70 cents, okay, to pay $1 of tax, then we can say that your uh, administration of tax is not efficient. On the other hand, class, if you have to pay, let's say, 20 cents, yeah, to collect $1 of tax, then of course that system would be more efficient. The lower the tax collection, the better. Yeah, I believe that in Malaysia we have average of 17, 17 cent incurred by Malaysian government to collect RM1 tax collection in Malaysia in general, okay, including all taxes in Malaysia, but not for environment tax. Yeah, in general, ladies and gentlemen, in the earlier stage of tax collections, the cost of collection would be slightly higher compared to several years after the implementation of that. Next, please. Okay, in other countries' experience, yeah, so I'm not going to discuss more on this. So it has to be able to answer these questions, class. What, okay, who, how, period, and methods. Yeah, as you can see, the higher the ranking, the more difficult to obtain. Yeah. So next, so we are going to what? Okay, what to be taxed? Okay. Are we going to tax petroleum? Are we going to tax coal? Are we going to tax liquid petroleum gas? Or are we going to tax any other than those things? Yeah. Uh, I think there is a technical problem in sharing the slide. Maybe the committee can share again. Yeah. Okay. While waiting the committee to share the slide, perhaps I will continue my presentations. Yeah. So are we going to tax petroleum, okay, usage by the government? Yes, perhaps, maybe that is the initial stage, because the quantifications of petroleum usage is very easy. Okay, it depends on how many liter you use compared to other parameters that you want to tax. Okay, next slide, please. Next. And who to be taxed? Definitely the company and the individual. Okay, next. Okay, how to tax? Yeah, this is a quite difficult questions to answer, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, certain exemption will be provided to certain industry, for example, agriculture, transportation, housing, origin community. Okay, these are the things that need to be considered more. Okay, we are not blanketly taxing agriculture industry. Yes, they are doing damage, okay, in our land. They are doing damage in our trees and so forth. But that is the nature of the business. Yeah. And of course, we cannot simply putting agriculture company higher tax. Okay, they will increase the cost of agriculture and ultimately will increase our prices. Okay, so some industry, for example, as might be considered to be provided by certain exemptions in this particular regards. Yeah. Next, please. Okay, so the period of payment, for example, in Sweden, they have to pay within 1 month. In Canada, also 1 month. In South Africa, 6 months. Japan, 2 months. Mexico, 1 month. Ukraine, 3 months. Okay, so which is better, ladies and gentlemen? The shorter period or the longer period? Okay, my answer would be the shorter period, the better. Because if for example, in Malaysia, we are implementing environment tax and the period of tax payment would be in 1 month, every month our government will receive their tax revenue. Okay, next please. And methods, okay, the first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, must be gazetted by the government. Okay, in Malaysia, we are in the process of having this. Okay, the second approach would be reduction of corporate tax rate. Okay. In tax principle, if you are taking from your right hand, okay, your left hand must be giving some to the giver. Okay. So this is the concept of in tax. We are implementing new tax. We are reducing perhaps our corporate tax rate marginally. Okay. Or maybe we can do some reduction to our individual tax rates. Yeah. Or maybe we have to do some promoting biodiesel electric car, for example. I believe in Indonesia also it is an emerging usage in electric car, even though it's quite expensive. Yeah. And promoting low carbon technology. Okay. These are the things that the government should do. Okay. You implement new tax. The other method must be implemented what we call as concurrently, so that the nation will not be burdened by our new tax system, especially environment tax. Okay, next. Okay, in Malaysia situations, ladies and gentlemen, some serious movement towards environment tax since 2023. But slow movement has been done by researchers in particular, yeah, especially in academic side. There is very limited research in environment tax. So we have to do benchmarking to ASEAN countries. For example, we are looking at Singapore. Singapore is a leading country in environment tax. Okay, so we can copy, we can model them in terms of implementing ET in Malaysia, for example, or perhaps in Indonesia. Next. Okay, sustainable environment, energy versus environment tax. Okay, so in this regards, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at a lesson, yeah, shall be given to certain group of companies that significant affect environment. Okay, so I think in Malaysia, most companies affect is from constructions, wood-based industries, housing developers, smoke-intensive manufacturers, chemical companies, yeah. So these are the industries that need to be concerned more. And of course, the future generations perhaps cannot see our durian tree anymore, okay? If we are not having environment tax in the next 20 or 30 years, okay? Because all durian trees has been cut off, okay, by those industries, for example, okay? Next. Okay, I would share my simulations, yeah, very simple simulations. Okay, in this slide, ladies and gentlemen, we simulate that Malaysia would implement fuel tax, yeah, our environment tax focusing on fuel tax, and we are only charging 1% from our consumptions, okay? In year 2022, our gasoline consumptions, ladies and gentlemen, is 17 billion liters. Our price per liter right now is 2 ringgit 5 cent. We expecting that total sale from our gasoline is 34.85 billion ringgit Malaysia, yeah. When we, for example, taking only 1% from gasoline, we can have expected new tax revenue from environmental tax is 0.3485 billion, yeah. So consumptions is 10 billion liters, and price per liters right now is 3.19. So 1% tax, we can have 0.319 billion, and also from jet fuel, we can add 0.24, yeah, 0.24 billion. In 1 year, ladies and gentlemen, if we only charge 1% environment tax from fuel consumptions, Malaysia will be generating 0.9 billion. Okay, 0.9 billion, almost 907 million ringgit. Yeah, equivalent to USD 216 million. Collect only 1% from fuel consumption. Yeah, and how big this 0.21 billion US dollar to Malaysia? Yeah, next slide, please. Okay, if we are using 2%, we can have extra tax collection double. We can easily collect 1.8 billion tax from environment tax, or 0.43 US dollar. Yeah, so how big this money are? Okay, next slide, please. Assuming that we are using extra this for developing our new school, for example, we can have 30 units of new school within a year. Okay. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, in Malaysia, we are having issues in which one school, we have two sessions, morning session and evening sessions. Okay. So normally it is not really good, because normally the best time to teach our pupils in the morning sessions. Yeah. But then due to the limited number of school in Malaysia, we have to have morning session and evening session. So in the long run, we Malaysia would only like to have only morning sessions by increasing number of schools. Okay, so this environment tax collection, for example, if will be used for developing new school, we can easily build up 30 new school, because approximately our cost to build up a new school is 30 million per unit. Yeah. Next, if we are using the extra fund in developing new hospital, we can have 18 new hospital every year, okay, to cater our demand in terms of our medications. Yeah, as simple as 1% tax on fuel, every year you can have 18 new hospital. As simple as that. Yeah, or every year we can have 30 new school build up. Okay, so this is the beauty of having extra tax. Yeah, in managing our country. Okay, next please. So I would like to try to sum up our presentations today. So in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, okay, even though I have discussed the advantages, yeah, of having environment tax, but then of course the limitation of environment tax will be there. Okay, so we believe that the environment tax will be implemented as soon as possible, so not only to protect the environment in long run, but able to increase our tax revenue. Okay, as a stick to polluters, okay, heavy approach in tax system. So now we have to have a stick, okay, to polluters, so that they have to pay our environment tax. Okay, so even though the environment tax would provide very benefit, however, prudent analysis and research must be done prior to the implementation of any environment tax. Okay, so remember, ladies and gentlemen, by having environment tax, companies need to pay multiple taxes. Yeah, this will discourage international investors to invest in Malaysia. Okay, and of course, Adam Smith equity and fairness principle of taxation will also jeopardize, because one group of people will be pay more taxes compared to other group of people. Yeah. Next slide, please. I think with that, I would like to say again, thank you very much for giving me opportunity to share my views, yeah, in terms of environment tax. If you have any further questions, you may us after this, or maybe you can email me later. And of course, Dr. Otto, it is a good what we call as area of research, yeah, for S2 and S3. Okay, especially in comparing Malaysian situation. And thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I pass the sessions to Dr. Otto. Silakan, Dr. Otto.
Terima kasih, Pak Rizal. Just call me Pak Oto, no problem.
Yes.
I call you Pak Rizal as well. So, Pak Rizal, please do not leave the meeting room because we are going to hold panel session. The panel session will be held, I think, because next session will be ice breaking from the committee. But however, I'm going to render some comments on my notes on your Pak Rizal's presentation today.
Yeah.
Yeah. The presentation's titled Dual Accomplishment Increasing Revenue and Sustaining Environment Through Environment Tax Implementations. So the tax implementation is becoming the focus of Pak Rizal's presentations.
Yes.
He noted in the beginning that the concept of the environment tax that to uplift national revenue apart from corporate and individual income tax, VAT, and other tax. I put a note over here, Pak Rizal, that when we are speaking about CIT, IIT, and VAT as well as other tax, it says or it we call it because it derived from those area or collected from those area, collected from corporate, collected from individual, collected from value-added activities and other tax as well. However,
Yeah.
if we are speaking about environment tax, I would say that this environment tax is going to use to. So we are speaking about what is this tax will be utilized to, will be supposed to spent to, okay, and it should be spent to avoid further deforestation, for example, or destructions of the environment and so on in or for example to recovery the destructions comes from the exploitations of the environment. But it's okay. That's going to be our maybe the participants' points to discuss. It's would be just to stimulate and also to trigger their way of thinking. Okay, and also Pak Rizal mentioned about the basic model, model A and model B. It is very interesting that Pak Rizal saying that model B would be the proposed one because since this is will make sure that the collections of the tax will be guaranteed or something like that. Okay, and the next thing is regarding the Malaysia that the environment tax was began since 2023. Here in Indonesia, the carbon tax also starting from 2023, but unfortunately, it was delayed until 2025. We don't know why, maybe we are not ready. Just for information. And Pak Rizal also mentioned about the conversions of the ringgit Malaysia 30 million becoming
Yeah.
yes 30 new school, yeah, when 1% of that of the tax on environment will be imposed, okay. And then for 50 million ringgit Malaysia equals to 18 new hospital. I think this is very interesting comparison, yeah. Uh, well, I think that would be the presentation from Pak Rizal, and his conclusion is regarding the environment tax it should be implemented as soon as possible. Yeah, we cannot wait, Pak, because the destructions of the environmental is going on, yeah. And then also this will increase revenue. This is positive side. Will also stick for the pollutant, yeah. I think that would be also the good and the positive side. But we have to implement in prudent way, yeah, to avoid further, further distractions and so on. And the company will hampered by multiple tax. We have to be very careful on this, and then that implementing too much taxations will at the end will decrease the revenue of the taxation.
Yes.
We call it as a lower curve of the revenue. It is very, very much interesting, Pak Rizal. Thank you very much, Pak Rizal, for your time and also your material for us to be enlightened. Thank you very much. Okay, then please stand by, Pak Rizal, and I will pass back the time to committee because I think the next session would be the ice breaking. Am I correct, committee?
Yes, it's correct.
Okay, then please take over. Then I will stop by in a moment, and then we'll continue after your session is over. Okay.
Thank you so much for Mr. Otto for leading such a great presentation, and also thank you for our two amazing speakers. So, after we focus on the material, of course, we have a very exciting game. This game can be accessed through quizzes using the barcode or code provided by the committee or via the link sent in the group. We urge all participants to write their name and institution in the format name_institution on their quizzes ID. If it doesn't comply with the provisions of the committee, we will disqualify you. For the first, second, and third winners, there will be attractive rewards. So, we ask all participants to participate in this quiz game. Okay, once again, we ask all participants to participate in this quiz game by using the barcode or code provided by the committee or via the link sent in the group, or using the code 826. Okay. We will wait until all the participants join these quizzes. When the game's ready, I will start on the count of 3. And now we're still waiting for every participant to join these quizzes. We have like 300 participants, but there's still 25 participants that join these quizzes. So once again, I ask all participants to participate in this quiz game because the first, second, and third winners will get attractive rewards from us. I will read again for the code 826330, or you can using the barcode that have screened by the committee. Okay, it's still 48 participants. It means that a lot of participants haven't joined these quizzes. So once again, please join these quizzes so you can get a reward if you're winning these quizzes. Okay, we'll wait until participants join. Don't forget to using format name on your quizzes ID. If it doesn't comply with the provisions of the committee, we will disqualify you. So please using the right format. Name_institution. Okay, it's already 73 participants. Right? Please again use have shared by the committee in our screen. Okay. So again, it seems like some of the participants haven't using the format yet. So I will tell you again that please using the format name underscore institution. So if it's quizzes, you can get a reward from me. But if you don't using the format, we can disqualify you. For all the participants that haven't joined, please using the barcode or using the code that have been shared by or in the Zoom chat. So it's time to start our quiz. We will start in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so for all the participants, there are leaderboard in your Zoom screen. It show all the 3 or 4 participants that have answered the question in quizzes. So we can see who can answer the question faster and most accurately. Wow. Okay. It seems like all the participants have listened the material well, right? In the first position here, there are Fadila. Fadila haven't using the format yet. Okay. The first place still Fadila. And the oh no. It's already, it's still Fadila in the first place. And in the second place, there is Amel. Okay, wow, so many participants in these quizzes. Let's see who will the winner. Okay, for all the participants, don't give up and let's take the top leaderboard. Don't miss the chance to winning and get an attractive prize from us. Oh, it's not first position. It's check. Who's the first position right now? Okay. Okay, it's three guard in the first position. And the second position still Amel. Okay, wow. Left came again in the second position. Wow, let's guess who will be the winner in this quizzes game. Okay, for all the participants, don't miss your chance to win these quizzes games. In the first, still 3 Gardi, and the second position. Amel, and also the third position there is Fadila. Let's see if they will be the winner. Oh, now we found the new participant who lead the leaderboard right now. Intan. Okay, Intan is the first position right now. And the third position there is Amel. And three Gerald go to the second position. Intan still position in the leaderboard. Wow. Okay. Oh, now we have the new name in the third position, Adinda. There's Adinda in the third position. Okay. Still Intan. Intan still in the first position. And then there are 3 Gandhi and the third position Amel. Okay, let's see who will be the winner. But where's Fadila? Where is Fadila? Okay, where is Fadila right now? Okay, it's okay. It seems like there's so much chance to have the first position here. So for all participants, don't give up and always try to take top leaderboard. Wow, let's see who can answer the question faster and most accurately. Not only faster, but accurately, okay? So you can winning these quizzes. Wow, we find out the new name. There is Axel here. Oh no, it's not Axel again. It's Adi Baskara. Okay, the new name. And also, the first place is also Intan, but from UNESA. It's different Intan in the second place. Wow. It's already some of different name from the beginning, yeah? So all the participants, you still have time to get the first position, second position, or third position. You still have time. Please always try and give your best here. Okay, this is still Intan in the first and second position. Intan underscore UNESA and also Intan. Wow, in the leadboard, on 5 leadboard, it's still the same name on the 4th leadboard. Intan underscore UNESA, Intan, oh no, yeah, Intan, Amanda Berliana Putri, Trigandi, and Amarta. Let's see who will be the winner. Okay, we get the new name here again. Amanda Berliana Putri and Amarita, the new name again in the leadboard. And also Sophie Mayasari. Wow. See guys, you still have a chance to get on top leadboard. So try again, faster and correctly. Intan underscore UNESA still on the top. And second, Amarta. And the third, Amanda Liana Putri. Who will be the third winner? Oh, okay, Fadila came again. We can find again Fadila here in the 4th position. Okay, Intan, oh yeah. No, now Amanda is the 1st position. Wow, Intan now in the 2nd position. Intan underscore UNESA. Okay, try again guys. There's still a chance for you to get the 1st position. I want to remind again guys, from the beginning we said that you must using the format name underscore institution. So if you don't using the format, sorry, but we will disqualify you. We want to remind that we using the format name underscore institution. So the winner will be the faster, the correctly, and also the correct format. Okay, there are some participants who aren't using the format yet. So, sorry if we will disqualify you when you haven't using the format. Again, I want to say that is name underscore institution. And for the participant who haven't using the format, will disqualify by us. Okay, but we can see the leaderboard again. In the first position, it's still Amarita. The second position, Aurel underscore Unesa, the new name here. The third position, Intan underscore Unesa. Okay, Intan still on the leaderboard. And the fourth, Amanda Berliana Putri, also still on the board. Fadila in the fifth position. Okay, now Aurel underscore Unesa still in the first position. Wow. Every participant have a chance to get the first position here. Okay, we want to say sorry for participants that haven't using the format because we will disqualify the participant that haven't using the format. Name underscore institution. Oh, we get a new name here. Azahia underscore Uin in the first position. Wow. Let's see. As Azahia will be the winner. And Aurel underscore Unesa in the second position. Amarita goes to the third position. Intan underscore Unesa goes to fourth position. Okay. Again, you still have a chance to go to the first position on leaderboard. Okay, please try again. Don't forget the format. Name underscore institution. Oh, this is also a new name here. Ayumi underscore Unet in the sixth position. Okay, but this is Azahia underscore Uin still in the first position. Okay, Azahia still in the first. Wow, there's a lot of participants who are using these quizzes, right? 160 participants. Okay, so it's like have to end this quizzes games. But we want to say sorry for Amrita because you don't using the format name underscore institution, so we must to disqualify you. Sorry, Amarita. So, okay, now we will stop the quizzes and we will see the winner in this quizzes. Okay, we will stop in 3, 2, 1. So, the first winner is Azahia underscore Uin. The second winner, Intan underscore Unesa. And the third winner is Aurel Unesa. Congratulations for all the winners. Okay, because the game's over right now. So, I think it's time to back to the material. So I will give again to Mr. Otto for guide the next session, that's Q&A session. So for Mr. Otto, please welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So much fun, yeah? So much fun. And I think for the next 2 sessions going to be the winner, yeah, the winner presentation and so on, I think. Well, we are going back to our issue, to our seminar. Firstly, I would like invite again Pak Wilson and also Pak Rizal are you with us in the moment?
Yes, Pak Otto.
Okay, thank you very much, Pak. And Pak Milson as well?
Yes, Pak Otto.
Okay.
Join.
Yeah, Pak Milson and Pak Rizal is already on their place. So now it's time for question and answer sessions for the international webinar of Taxcompar 2024. Now, I will give a chance to all of the attendants, to all of the members of this seminar. Please raise your hand. Please fill in your chat if you have some questions. Do not forget to mention to whom your question is addressed to Pak Milson or to Pak Rizal. Please mention clearly. Okay, and secondly, I would say that if you are not, confident with your English, no problem to deliver this in Bahasa, then I will translate and interpret that for Pak Wilson, which is not really needed, and also, and maybe to Pak Rizal, yeah. Please, is there any question? Okay, let me see. Let me see. Any raised hand? No, not yet. Raise hand. Okay. Okay then, so I will take a look to the chat and let me see. Okay, some. Yes. Okay. The first questions comes from Mbak Intan Retno Wulanzari. These questions for two speakers, so Pak Nielsen and also Pak Rizal. Okay, the first questions from Intan is a permission to ask whether there is a way for the public to avoid the state budget decree and why inflation rises every year. That's the first question. And the second question is, what are the challenges in implementing environmental tax in Indonesia, and how are people able to accept this policy? Because even if they pay house taxes and so on, they are still late for the payment, maybe. I would say so. Okay, so I would give this first question first to Pak Milson. Pak Milson? Okay, this the questions from Intan Ratna Wulansari. Permission to ask whether there is a way for the public to avoid the state budget decreasing day by day, and why inflation rises every year. Then the second question is, what are the challenges in implementing environmental tax in Indonesia, and how are people able to accept this policy? Because even if they pay house taxes and so on, they are still late. Yeah, I think late for the payment. Okay, then, so Pak Milson, would you please respond on those questions, please?
Thank you very much, Dr. Otto.
Just call me Pak Otto.
Yes, okay, Pak Otto, thank you very much for moderating these sessions. So this is an interesting question from Miss Intan, yeah? Miss Intan asked me about the two questions. So let me respond. The first one, is there any way for the government to public to afford, just to avoid the state budget decreasing? So basically, we are in the Ministry of Finance, Republic of Indonesia. We always monitoring the state budget position month by month, and we present the findings, the recommendations, and then the risks also to the Ministry of Finance, as we have uh, regular publications. You always may recognize it as uang kita, Pak Okto, and the Ministry of Finance will always communicating with many stakeholders to report the condition of uang kita, which is the fiscal and state budget condition month by month, so we can assess how far then our revenue conditions as well as our expenditure condition and the financing side. So that may be the current platform from the Ministry of Finance to communicate with all the stakeholder, all the public that have interest on the state and condition with state budget condition. You can always download the files monthly, and we have sent it to the website from DG budget. You can always download it. And why the inflation rise every year? This is a very challenging question, because we know that the inflation comes from two different sides. The first side is because the cost factors from the production side, and the other side is from the demand side. So the aggregate demand. If you demand more the product, but the capacity to produce the product is less than your aspiration, your demand, then the price will incline. So that's the inflation. But nowadays we see together that the inflation comes from the disruption in supply chains. As geopolitical tension increase, then it hurts so many sectors, including the global trading issue, and it becomes hard for many developing countries to accept to fulfill their domestic demand. So it becomes inflation for that. So that's, I think, the core issues for inflation, why the prices for the common goods increase year by year for today, because there's a downside risk from the geopolitical tension that disrupt the uh, global supply chains. And for the second question, what are the challenge of implementing tax in Indonesia? This is a special question, and interestingly, I'm one of the person in fiscal policy agency that are currently appointed uh, to evaluate and then to design what are the suitable design for a carbon tax provision in Indonesia. So basically, I can say that the implementation of environment tax or the carbon tax in Indonesia should in line with the carbon trading roadmap and then the carbon tax roadmap. As we can see, in Indonesia is now trying to adapt the new mechanism for the carbon trading. It is in I think it is in energy sector, in electricity. So we will impose maybe for the carbon tax as additions to the emission trading systems, and why the tax seems that it is postponed because we want to make sure that the impact of the new tax in this context not too excessively harmful for the society. So that's the reason why until today we still calibrate the provision for the carbon tax to make sure that the impact to the economy is not adversely impact to the our macroeconomic performance. So that's maybe the quick response from me to address the questions that arise by Ms. Intan. Thank you, Pak Okto.
Okay. Thank you very much, Pak Milson. Then I will not present and provide these questions to Pak Rizal because this is mostly regarding on Indonesian side, and I would say that Pak Rizal um, maybe don't know situations in Indonesia regarding the implementations of environmental tax. Um, but anyhow, uh, I would like to have a feedback from Intan Ratna Wulansari. Mbak Intan, do you have any feedback from the response of Pak Milson? Or do you satisfy with the answer? Hello, Mbak Intan? No response? Okay, then we are going to the next questions. Now, the next questions is addressed to Mr. Milson. Okay. Can we go on to the third question, please? Third question? Because the third question is addressed to Pak Rizal. Okay.
Yeah.
So Pak Rizal, this is the question for you, Pak. In general, Malaysia has been more advanced in implementing environmental taxes than Indonesia. Has been more okay. It's would like to have your response in this case. They have several types of environmental taxes that have been in place for quite some time, such as emission-based motor vehicle taxes. Indonesia is still in the early stage of environmental tax development. Although there have been some initiatives, the implementation is still limited and not comprehensive. Has the implementation of environmental taxes in Malaysia had a significant impact on economic growth? What important aspects should Indonesia pay attention to in implementing environmental taxes? So we should learn from experiences from Malaysia, isn't it? So Pak Rizal, would you please your response?
All right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much, Pak Otto. Thank you, Realia, for the questions. Yeah. Okay. Firstly, I would like to share with you, all of you, that Malaysia has not implementing environment tax, but we are working for that. Okay. And my second opinion is, I think I have to go to the last paragraph. Yeah. Has the implementation of environment tax in Malaysia significant impact? Okay. We foresee that if the environment tax implemented in Malaysia in the first 3 years, in the first 3 years, we will be expecting that there are some distortions in our economic growth, uh, assuming that our economic stability is under our current positions, we are omitting the situations during the COVID-19 and so forth, or our what we call as our current foreign sea attack on and so forth. Assuming that the current situation happened, ceteris paribus, we are expecting that the first 3 years there are some economic distortion, but in the fourth year onwards, the economic growth would be better from today. And for the first paragraph, okay, I don't think at the moment, the Malaysian tax system advancing Indonesian tax system. Okay, I would say that these two tax system between Indonesia and Malaysia are at par. Okay, because I believe that Indonesia has been implementing what we call a lot of tax reform. Pak Wilson, hopefully. But in Malaysia we are not having tremendous tax reform in the last 10 years, other than our good and services tax. Yeah. Because the current economic situation in Malaysia is what we call as recovery. Yeah. And therefore, it is not suitable to have new tax in our economic right now. And as you know that our Malaysian ringgit currency is increasing in terms of the value compared to US dollar, compared to Indonesian rupiah, I believe so. I think as for yesterday, one ringgit equal to 3,600 rupiah, some sort of that. Yeah. So I think my answer would satisfy Aurelia. Is it okay? I pass again to Pak Otto.
Okay, thank you, Pak Rizal, for the
Yes.
response. Yes, indeed, I agree with situations that we need to have more attentions on the dynamic of the tax reform, the dynamic of tax, tax institutions, modifications, and so on. In Indonesia, we have a lot of tax reform. Yeah, we have a vice word saying that uh, it is more frequent to have the tax what is it, tax regulation changing, yeah, rather
Yeah.
than to buy clothes. Yeah. Yeah, maybe we buy clothes once in, I don't know, maybe 6 months or maybe 5 months, but regulations of the taxation in Indonesia every week changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's happened all around the world, but it happened like that. So I think that would be the answer for Pak Rizal. So I would like to have a feedback from Ibu or Mbak Aurelia. Mbak Aurelia, do you have any feedback on Pak Rizal's response? One new message. Thank you of the answer, Prof. Rizal. Okay,
Okay.
dissatisfying with the answer, Prof. Okay. Um, committee,
Masalah dari misalkan
committee.
contoh ini misalkan kurang semangat atau mungkin misalkan
Okay, committee, would you please go back to the second question, please? Okay, from M. Slamet Yahya to Mr. Wilson, what specific steps is the government taking to ensure that investment in economic transformations will not burden the national budget in the future? And how far has the government gone in identifying and addressing the fiscal risk that may arise from the economic transformation agenda? So, Pak Wilson, please.
Sorry, I still mute previously. So thank you, Pak Okto, to addressing this question for me. So what is the specific steps is when the government taking to ensure that investments in economic transformation will not burden the national budget is. So I think that Indonesia needs more robust and more qualified the investment in our economic situation now, because when we see that, when we think about the investment spending in Indonesia, they are all very scattered factors that influence the investment trend in Indonesia. We see together in the public media when they try to inform us that most of the capital outflow from the advanced countries to the emerging countries like Indonesia and other ASEAN 5 countries like Vietnam, they're trying to build a new manufacturing base in their hometown. Then what could be determinants to investment climate in Indonesia? First, of course, is the environment of the production line. And this going to be a highly concern for the government as we trying to introduce the new investment law that trying to attract the investment climate and competitiveness in Indonesia. Such a reform is necessary for a global manufacturing companies that want to invest in emerging markets like Indonesia, but at the same time, we have some corridors, we have some parameters that they need to comply with us in order to maintain our environment, our uh, further sustainability goals, for example, and in order to identifying and addressing the fiscal risks that may arise from the economic transformation, we have several assessments in Ministry of Finance that we want the new sorts of growth in the near future. And currently, we are still identifying which kind of sectors that can contribute further, like downstreaming, mineral and mining sector that will create value added to the economy. And we see some sectors in services like IT development, and then we see some potential development uh, in semiconductor industry that will always enhance our economic to the uh, new uh, transformative sectors. So that's the way that we try to identify and address the fiscal risk. Of course, as I mentioned before, we also consider the demographic change, as we can see in Japan or in South Korea today. They were going to the aging population, and the issue of aging population is uh, talk about the how can the country, how can the government can fulfill their health insurance, their pension funds that comes from the new generation, and of course from the past revenue that they have generated while they are productive. And that's one issue that currently is still uh, challenging for Indonesia, I think. And yeah, fortunately, uh, we are we can say that Indonesia demographic conditions today is more dominated by the working group population, and we hope that this working group population can, of course, contribute to the economic performance as well as the tax revenue as they gain the productivity in the labor markets. So that's one of the risks and opportunities that may arise from the economic transformation agenda.
Okay, thank you very much, Pak Wilson. So for the Mr. M. Slamet Yahya, do you have any comment or do you have any response on the answer? Okay, Slamet say thank you, Mr. Wilson. Okay, you're very welcome. Fine. So for the next questions, I would like to have the first questions. No, not this one. The first question by Intan Ratna Wulansari. Because the next questions, the next two questions, the last two questions will be addressed to Mr. Wilson. The first one here, I a bit ignore because he's asking for the two speakers. I'm sorry that I ignore that I'm not giving these questions to Pak Rizal. So then I would like to a bit modify these questions and will address this to Pak Rizal. Okay, the first questions. The first question I think I would modify like this. So Pak Rizal, why there is inflation rises every year? That's the first question. And the second question would be, what are the challenges in implementing the environmental tax? thought. I think that would be more suitable for your expertise, Pak Rizal. Would
Yes.
you, Pak Rizal?
Okay. Thank you very much for the questions, Mbak Intan. Yeah. Okay, I go for the first questions. Yeah. In general, why inflation rises every year? It is in pure economic conditions. Yeah. In a normal economic conditions, we cannot avoid inflation. Yeah. That is the general rule of economic conditions. So the inflations will be happen from year to year with a very slight percentage. Yeah, that is in normal economic conditions, right? The deflations, on the other hand, will only occur in the what we call as economic crash. Yeah. So of course we don't want economic crash. Yeah. So economic crash recently that we have experienced was during our COVID-19 situation. That is so-called as economic crash. And I think it was happened for the last 30 years before, right? So we cannot avoid marginal rate. Okay. So we cannot avoid that. And meaning that our what we call as our purchasing power will be increased depending on the inflation rise. Okay. The second question was the challenges in implementing environment tax. Okay, in Malaysia, for example, the most challenges is our current political instability. Yeah. So, Pak Otto, we are experiencing political instability at the moment. Yeah. This is the biggest challenge for us. Why? Because your political